Hi, all. Welcome to the second of the 5 stages of our Automation Center of Excellence, SIPOC, or process flow that we have to deliver automation. Again, these are intended for developers and people setting up a Center of Excellence at a company who may have trained on how to build bots, but don't really see the context and don't have the experience of all the little things that may have to happen across the entire life cycle in order to have success. It's not just about the code itself. There's a lot more to it. We talked about feasibility last time. We're going to zoom in a little bit and talk about design today, which is, in my experience, the second phase where you want to look at process flow and doing things the right way to help you have stable bots and be able to scale them without constantly having production support. So really what you're going to start with is things that come out of your initial feasibility phase. You're going to have a validated project that's got the right ROI, that you have the right support for, that makes sense to deliver. And you have your initial business documentation. You have a set of steps. You have a recording, video recording, something to start with to begin documenting your process. In our design, we use our initial documentation from the business to begin a process definition document, which is going to be the thing that we then eventually hand off to the technologist to actually do the development. It can be a loop here. Do you have enough information to go on? Do you understand the process? And not so much did you understand the process when you walk through it with the customer, but do you have enough that someone who doesn't know the process can actually follow the process? That's a key test to see if you can move forward or not. If not, you continue the meetings with the business team and you continue documenting the remainder of the process so that you've got a starting point. You could hand it to a smart intern or a new employee or someone outsourced to do the process manually. You won't have them do that, but you need to have that level of understanding of the process and documentation of the process to move forward. As an aside, there are many great automation task capture and process discovery tools. Won't go into those now. So you don't always have to do this manually in Word and in Visio. You can do this with some type of process recorder. I'll cover those in a separate video, some of the best that are on the market. But you basically continue that until you feel you have enough information to move forward. And then when you get enough information, you want to check with the larger IT team, some larger architect group. There must be some governance that you can check with to determine if you need, rather than doing the process as it's done by the person, can you get an API? Can you do a little bit of technology delivery to make the bot much more stable and much better off? You may not want to always rely on a graphical user interface to do your work. If that changes next week, next month, next year, you're going to have to recode large portions of the bot. So if you can use an API, that's going to be faster, more stable, more accurate, and make your IT team happier with you. A key thing that we didn't originally have on there, we had that as an actual totally separate stage, but you want to make sure you have the security access needed for the systems to do the job. You're going to talk to Johnny or Sally in accounting, and they're going to show you what they do. They've been there for a while, and they have the right logins, the right screen access, all those things. The older your systems are, the more difficult this piece is going to be. If you've got something modern, like you're using Salesforce or SAP or something pretty recent, you're probably not going to have as much problem at this stage. But if you're like most of us and you're using legacy systems that were designed before we were born, green screens, no mouse, no nothing, PF keys, you're going to want to make sure you work on the security access first so that it's not Johnny or Sally's access you're using. It's a new ID that the bot will have and only the bot will have once you deploy to production. So I can't stress this enough that this is a key place that will ruin your automation program. Not just one bot, but your whole program can fall apart if you don't have this locked down and a good partnership with your InfoSec team. Once you've got that and you've been able to kind of figure out that you can do the process from the documentation that you have and you have the access to do it, that's when you really are ready to complete your process definition document and you notify your team, your development team, of this new project being moved into their backlog. So this is where, as project management, we kind of load this into the development phase and we track it, but try not to micromanage them. They'll come back with a timing, with a sizing, and we really don't look over their shoulder all the time. We want self-organizing, agile teams that can work on their own. When they need something, they'll come back to us. We'll get it for them. We'll get questions answered. So we need to be at their beck and call during the development phase. But for right now, you need to move it over to their side and just make sure that they have what they need to start their development. So the output of this stage is going to be your completed process definition document, or maybe documents, maybe screenshots, maybe videos, but definitely a PDD of some standard form is going to be needed. You're going to want these service accounts ready for use by the development team, and you're going to want have to create any variance requests you need. A lot of IT teams are not ready for a bot ID that needs to act like a human ID. So they're going to ask you for things like, what's the social security number of this? What is the department? You're going to have to work that out and figure out a governance for that. But you're going to have a completed set of requests and the accounts ready to go. And once you have that, then we can move that over to the development team, and I'll cover that in the next video. Thanks a lot. Hope you found this useful. If you did, please give me a like or send me a message.